Okay, good morning, almost good afternoon. So, I've taken some time to sleep. I didn't sleep, just rest and prepared, and also prepared, this, the basic, mana. But, so I decided to kind of share with you, what's the plan from the science perspective, because actually I have a plan. Different things can symbolize, symbols can change their, או את ההוראה שלהם, או את הביטוי שלהם, their meaning. Right now, in the intermediary phase, it looks like, Churban, Churban, like runes, because of the gray, gate, and, this is the Earth, and this is Venus. But this is actually only intermediary step. It's not the final, it's clay takes time, there are different layers, and, we want it to be sturdy. So it takes time to actually to prepare clay things of any type. And I'm going to share with you, what's the plan now. So, first I should say that, I should probably take microscopic examination of what's going on in this thing. Maybe later today. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not totally anxious about it. Super, but what I will do is actually I decided to remove little bit of the pea and oil content. Most certainly will burn it probably now on the 4 cups, and to fill in the gaps with the rest of what I have of the wax, and also more lightning of maybe even 15 charcoals. In tandem, which will create a lot of pressure. Just because I don't explain why, because it's got so many kind of actually so many. It's complicated. I don't want to get into it right now. There are reasons for that, but I want the mixture to be more heavy in wax. And if you want to take a look how it looks like now, most certainly wax solidifies on the top. But each time before I light it, I kind of break the ice sheet, the wax sheet, because I want the I want more smoke, because the smoke creates the pressure. So if you want to see how it looks, again, this is what's left from of all the containers. I have trash, like this in here and other trash, but mostly this is what I have, all the containers that I raised. Most of it was burned and just, thrown to the garbage. There were actually several types of container, but that's what we have now. Let's not dwell in history. So you see many charcoals, and we actually add even more. And you see, the solid layer of wax, which is to be expected. So before we actually light it again, so I will add more wax and remove some of the more oil and pea things, and you see. So in the underground we have this layer, so I'll remove a little bit of it and add more wax. There is also a very big magnet on a relatively strong magnet taken from a 1000 watt speaker, non-working speaker on the bottom. So it's not super urgent. We'll wait with that. Just wanted to show you how it looks. Of course, what I remove, I will not throw to the garbage. I just light it in this thing. And I try to, I can't do much more than 15 charcoals, because, I light it on this electric stove that, you shouldn't use too much, for too long, because it's kind of it's getting curved, it's getting it's already actually almost broken, because of I use it for too long periods. So you see, it's already dancing. This is just for hookah. It's not for science. So you see, it's already kind of skewed. I probably need to buy a new one. I try not to waste anything that touches the Nero juice, like to burn everything, or to use in other experiments. So I mean, this is the plan for this thing, and later I take some microscopic examination. Now, with regards to what we have here, so this is actually more complicated. So, but I wanted to elaborate. Like, it's related to a series of experiments that I've done in the past. Actually several series, not more than one. So, the idea is, first of all, to create two containers of the double kind. I'll explain in a minute what it is. But one should be, symbolize the Titans, and one should symbolize humans. The humans will be gray, the Titans will be gray and black, and humans will be red and brown and pink, as is customary. Yes, there is also the issue of the material, but I mean, color wins material in this, like, decides like what is the kind. Like, I mean, color is more important than material because I mean, you it's not kind of like a metaphor to anything. It's just that, I mean, you don't always have the material that you need. Like, I mean, it's a problem. I mean, metal containers are actually, I mean, I'm sorry that I cannot give you, like, the whole background. It's so much. I mean, that's the problem with science. I mean, you can't just, start in the middle. Like, there's so much background that I wish not to kind of, like, reiterate right now. But anyway, just take it for, because I said so, and of course you can watch the old videos. I mean, nothing stops you, and there are a tremendous amount of videos. So the idea is, in any way, to create one container for humans and one for Titans. But they will be of the double kind. So what's the double kind? So it will be a container within a container. We had many of such, and it's not a new thing. So there will be another container which will be higher. So the higher will be of smaller. So I mean, each, like, there will be like a container here, like that, like the glass. Think of the glass. This is it's manifested in many of the experiments in the last year. I mean, you can see many examples. So it will be something like that. So like the higher one will be also the narrower one, and both will be used with electrolysis of not exactly the same parameters. I already thought about the parameters, but I just want to kind of, I mean, I should say that, I mean, it will be based on mostly salt water, but also oil, like more oil stuff that will probably be taken from this container. But it is going to be processed. The idea is we have several actual, I mean, objectives here. And the most important objective is to repeat the energy transfer experiment. And I should remind you that it wasn't just, I mean, the purpose was not just to show you energy transfer, which is incredibly interesting, but there was also a symbolic act. And actually, in our case, the symbolic act is even more important. The symbolic act, I mean, you show energy transfer, and then you increase, I mean, resistance of the mixture, so it will be not enough conductive, so you don't see electrolysis, like over air. And this symbolizes, I mean, it depends on the containers, like, I mean, that presumably you don't want to be, the neurons to be transferred remotely, like, for example, from me to Homo sapiens, which is already the case, okay? But right now, what we want to do is to block all kind of transfer of neurons from Homo sapiens to Titans and vice versa, like, remotely. Of course, they can still drink the pee or the semen or whatever. I mean, this is not blocked, and you cannot block it, and I mean, just a biological fact. But we don't want them to pass, because this is like a firmware, like a software thing, because they don't have to pass, between each other. I mean, through each other. So if the experiment will be proven successful, actually everybody will see it. Again, my experiments are mostly global in reach. So the idea that, I mean, all of you will just see that you cannot pass neurons between each other. So, I mean, in any case, I would say for the Titans, I mean, that I already explained like how can you take the news back from the Homo sapiens scum that took it from you. So I would advise you, just use the opportunity now to do it, because maybe if in like a couple of hours or maybe a day or two, if it will be successful, this experiment and the symbolic aspect will be proven correct, you will not be able to take it back from the humans, and which is actually good, because they will not be able to take it also from you, which is the more common the direction and the one that we actually want to block. But both sides will be blocked. No more of that, because it's all just used for terrorism. And maybe along the road, of course, we can also show the energy transfer, but we will have other kind of like objectives that will probably add along the lines. First, we'll probably want to add neurons to the body of the Titans, like to create neurons using electrolysis. I know that for new viewers, this might seem like the most of all, it's extremely outlandish. Like you actually are going to create tea, inside this clay, plate that you created just now. Like a child, and you actually tell us that you will create tea. So the answer is yes. It was done a tremendous amount of time, and it's documented in the channel, very rigorously. This is one of the most important, breakthroughs. And of course, I'm going to do it, and also to show you under the microscope like what exactly is created. I'm totally, confident about it, because it was done for so many times. So it's not a question like will it work or not. So we'll create mold in the body of the Titans. So mostly when there is there is a container inside another container. So first, they keep the the higher and lower, like from high to low, like from up to down. The higher gives you kind of like the direction to the lower one, if they're separated. But mostly this configuration signifies increase or enlargement. Okay, this you can see it in many of the videos. This nothing of it. No, aspect of what is described now is actually new, but it's the configuration is new. It's kind of like configuration of all sort of known things that I've done in the past and is documented in the channel, but in a new configuration. So we will add more of the neurons to the bodies of the Titans. Actually, I bought very nice screws. It's not a metaphor for nothing. Just very thick screws that should be very good with high voltage electrolysis. It's very handy for high voltage electrolysis. We will use it. And also another thing that we should do, and this is something that I actually did not demonstrate. About 3 months ago, I've done a recap of the most important experiment, but I didn't actually manage to get to this experiment. But this was done many times in the past. But incredibly important experiment, not as important as the creation of the neurons, but yes, very prominent experiment is the creation and the enlargement of life forms inside clay containers. In order to prove that, we need to take, of course, microscopic examination before and after. Because, you can say, okay, so maybe there were life forms, in before you actually started electrolysis. So we'll do before and after. This will be done, of course, in the human, in Homo sapiens. As all, dangerous and, unhealthy experiments, it's always done in the red clay for humans. And we will try, what to do is to create the trained bacteria using a secondary DC circle of three small skulls, 4 actually. It's like 1 big and 3 small. It's like the flag of China. 1 big and 3 small. And I know that in China it's 1 as opposed to 4, which is also a known symbol for the neurons. Like there is the big in front of the 4 smaller, or the 1 in front of the 3 smaller. What we actually do is the 1 in front of the 3 smaller. And that's, let's not get to it. I cannot speak about everything. In any case, so we'll use trained bacteria with sculptures. So I actually created from. So I also bought wire yesterday. This is very handy both for, creating sculptures that, that are connected to this, like that with electricity flowing through it, which is great for life forms. But we will need, of course, to color it with specific, type of colors, and also to add clay, the sausage is probably made of clay. It's very nice. Should be very nice, and this will be of, and we will also try to not only create but also to enlarge it, using the enlargements arcs that was featured in this channel in the past. And if we're successful, maybe after we start electrolysis, if it's high voltage and everything is configured correctly, after about 30 minutes, we will be able to see under the microscope huge trained bacteria, like tremendous, gigantic ones, and perhaps even some that will be visible by the naked eye. I remind you that the largest life form that we created this way was like a shrimp of 8 centimeters, which was huge. But it's kind of disgusting and not very. I still consider the full metal jacket, while it's much smaller, tremendously more advanced life form that was created in the crucible, but actually not using electrolysis. This will be the electrolysis pathway. So maybe we'll actually be able to see some, if you're optimistic, life forms by the naked eye that are created in front of us. And if everything goes fine, maybe not everything will be done today or even tomorrow. This is like an outline. It will take some time. These things take time. But if you're lucky, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, the day after that, we will be also see tremendous increase of size and quantity of the trained bacteria in the body of all Homo sapienses, like all over the globe, which is, of course, extremely positive side effect of this experiment. So, that's the plan for now, and it's work, but and also, on parallel, I'll start, cutting, canvas, and prepare new frames for, for new paintings, mostly acrylic for now. But I feel the urge to kind of start to paint stuff. Again, after some hiatus time. So that's the plan. It's quite ambitious. Maybe not everything today, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, but that's the plan for now. And I'm glad you accept any comment and or questions, whatever. I'm open to suggestions.